Welcome everybody to the presentation tonight. My name is Trevor, and we are talking more about WordPress and affiliate marketing and using a WordPress platform to help us make money online. So, and if you've seen any of the prerequisites, you'll know that by this point, if you've been following along and trying to do what we've been teaching over the last few weeks, you should have some kind of a WordPress website. And it's going to be hosted with some kind of a hosting company. We recommend one-on-one hosting. You should have a niche that you've chosen, and you should have done some sort of a design like we're looking at here on Albion Strawberry. And you should have a little bit of content, and that's where we're at so far. This week I had time and created an additional post, so you'll see that my latest post here is titled Albion Strawberry Patent. This particular variety of strawberry is patented, like almost any variety of crop that can be sold or used commercially. So I actually didn't know that, but they all have patents on them, and this is actually something that people look up online. So we did a short blog post on it. You can see here as I scroll down, just a brief summary. I won't read it to you guys, but like I told you, I'm going to try to do about a post a week, maybe a little bit more. The question I always get is how much content should I be posting onto my blog? And the answer is I don't know, whatever you think you can do. Lately, I've only been able to put in about 45 minutes a week on this project. And so I took 45 minutes this morning and put this together. So if you can do more, do it, because you're going to want more content than this. And again, I've been getting the question a lot, well, okay, Trevor, when can I apply for my Google AdSense and start posting advertisements on my blog? And I still think we're a little ways from that. I still think we need to take some time to build content onto this thing, because a real person at Google reviews these applications. So when you apply to AdSense, somebody's going to look at your site, they're going to look at the design, they're going to look at the content, they're going to look at the grammar, they're going to make sure that it's a nice, professional-looking site that has some valuable, usable content that isn't copied. And you need to have, and we haven't talked about this as much lately, but you need to have some other pages. You need a contact page and an About Us page and a privacy page. There's some different pages that we really should add first before we apply to AdSense. So if you're anxious to get the AdSense going, just know we need a lot more content. And so I'm going to be working on building content on this site before I apply for AdSense. And we'll go over that when the time comes. So you should be in the content development stage right now. All of your time and energy should be going into writing posts, deciding on what to write, and making your content look really good on the site. That's what I'm going to be doing. Now, as part of that, guys, I think it would be wise while you're writing your content to be doing your SEO right along with doing your content. Now, let me ask you guys a question. When I say doing your SEO, I'm talking about on-site optimization, okay? Some of you guys know what that is. What do I mean by on-site search engine optimization? What am I doing if that's what I'm talking about? It's not something we've really talked about in this series, but we've talked about it in relation to our e-commerce site. So what does it mean to do on-site SEO? Yep, it's keywords. It's researching keywords, good. And then it's taking those keywords and putting them on the site, right? So if you're doing on-site SEO, you're doing keyword research, you're taking all those keywords you come up with, and then you're implementing them into the content of your site. Today, I want to show you an example of doing it on a blog post, okay? Now, I mentioned briefly last week that all of your blogs should have something installed, a plugin installed. So if you're on sort of like your website dashboard like I am right now, you're going to come right down here to plugins. Okay. and you're going to install this plugin right here. It's called Yoast SEO. If you don't have that installed, all you do is you come up here to where it says Add New at the top. I'm going to click on that and do a search for Yoast SEO right there at the right-hand side of the screen, and you're going to download this one right here. I've got it installed, so it says installed right here, but you're going to have to click Install Now. That's what the little button is going to show. Okay. Can everybody see my screen where I'm at right now? Judy, you're saying you can't see it. Is everybody else seeing my screen okay? Yeah, it looks like everybody else is, Judy. It might be just a little lag with your internet. I'm not sure what to tell you, but it'll be very clear on the recording. So as always, we'll record this and let you guys watch it a little bit later. Okay, so questions about plugins, guys? Does that make sense? You come here and you install this plugin, and we've talked about plugins before. They're a little bit like an application or an app is to an iPhone. If you want your iPhone to do more things, you go and you go to the App Store and you buy or download free apps. It's the same on WordPress. If you want your WordPress site to do certain things, you come to the plugins page and you buy or install free. Well, not all plugins you have to pay for. Like Yoast SEO doesn't cost anything, so you can install that for free. And you get it put on. Now, once it's installed, you just come here to your plugins page, and it'll show up right here. Oftentimes, you have to activate the plugin once it's installed. So there'll be a little activate link or an activate button. You click activate, and then the plugin is ready for use. Now, they're all a little bit different. So I'm just going to teach you guys tonight about this Yoast SEO and sort of how it applies to what we're doing on our blog. That way, as you guys are writing your content, you can be doing your SEO right along with it instead of going back to it later. I know when we teach doing an e-commerce site, a lot of times we teach you guys to build it, add all your products, and then go back and do your SEO later. When you're blogging, it's easier to do your SEO as you go. So that's why I'm showing this to you guys now. Okay. All right, so as long as it's activated, it's good to go. I'll show you where it will appear, okay? Now, I haven't done any SEO. Well, I've done a little bit, and I'll show you what I've done. But for the most part, I haven't done any SEO on this brand new blog post that I just created, Albion Strawberry Patent. So I want to walk you guys through how to do this specifically for this blog post, okay? And then you guys should be able to do it yourself. You cannot, Catherine. Catherine just asked if you can add Yoast to a Blogger blog, and you can't. This is developed specifically for WordPress. Blogger isn't quite as robust as WordPress when it comes to this kind of stuff. We use Blogger mainly for e-commerce sites because a lot of times you don't need all the bells and whistles that you would get with WordPress. WordPress is by far just more equipped with this type of stuff. So anyway, no, it's got to be through WordPress that you do it. All right, so I'm going to edit this blog post, okay? So let's go up here and let's go to dashboard again. You guys will learn shortly how to whip around WordPress, just like I am right now. Go to posts, and you're going to see that I have 3 posts that are up right now. You're going to see this new column over here at the far right called SEO, and you can see that it's color-coded. My first blog post has good SEO. If I put my mouse over it, green means good, yellow means okay, and gray here means nothing's really been done, okay? So I'm going to go in and I'm going to edit this one. All right, so scroll down below your content, and you're going to see this new section. This wouldn't be here otherwise. You have to have Yoast installed, but it's this new section called Yoast SEO. Okay. Now, first of all, there's a little snippet preview right here. This is what this page is going to look like in Google right now if Google were to index this page. But what I want to do is I want to give Yoast my focus or target keyword phrase. Now, we would have talked about this in other webinars, but I'm just going to explain briefly right now. Every single one of your posts on your blog should have some sort of a target keyword phrase, and all that means is it's the goal for your page. It's the keyword search that you would like to see this very specific blog post actually show up in Google for. Okay. You don't leave that up to chance. You need to have a focus keyword or a target. Now, the way I figured out what I wanted my target to be is I started over here at keywordtool.io. This may be familiar to some of you guys, but this is one of the places that I go to quickly figure out what keywords people are looking for. So I type in here Albion strawberry, which is my main keyword phrase, and it gives me a bunch of suggestions based on what's most popular in Google. So I was looking through here today, even before I wrote this blog post, and I saw that one of the most popular searches is this one right here, Albion strawberry patent. So I said, okay, well, I don't know anything about that, right? And I told you that earlier that I spent about 45 minutes on this. So I'm telling you from deciding on a topic to researching the topic to writing the content, it only took me 45 minutes to create this blog post. Now, for most of you guys who are just starting, it's going to take you longer than that for sure. But the good news is there will come a point where you become this quick, where you can create a pretty good piece of content in 45 minutes. And I'll explain more here in a minute why that's pretty significant. Okay. So anyway, I found that there, and I thought, that's an interesting keyword phrase. Let me check it first in Moz to make sure it's not going to be overly difficult to rank for. So I headed over to Moz, okay, and I'll bring this up for you guys. I'm not going to go into tons of detail on keyword research right now. There are other webinars for that, but I will kind of explain as I go. Moz costs, I don't know, like $150 a month or something to use. You can get a free trial for 30 days and not pay anything, and then cancel your trial. So if you want to use Moz, use it, but you can only use it kind of on a limited basis unless you pay for it. And I wouldn't recommend that you pay for it because it is a little expensive. We've got a membership here, so I just use the membership we have here in our office. So this is the keyword difficulty tool right here. I'm just going to zoom in on this page really quickly so you can see it better. And we are going to type in here Albion strawberry patent. And I'm really looking this up because I'm curious what kind of data Moz is going to produce for me on this. You can see right here, I'm going to highlight it. Okay, Albion strawberry patent, 48%. Now, for those of you guys who know something about this, 48%, describe to me if that's good or bad. What does 48% mean in this case? And that should answer your question. Catherine just asked, how do you know how popular the search phrase is when you can't see the volume? That's why keywordtool.io is kind of cool, because basically what it's doing is, if you've ever noticed this, if you go to google.com, when you're doing a search, it suggests your next word when you're typing in your search. So if I type in Albion, it suggests what my most likely next search word would be. There's 4 there, either fit, basin, nothing, or basin hike. But if I go Albion strawberry, it suggests my next most likely next search terms, which is seeds, variety, or review. If I type in Albion strawberry and then the letter P, it suggests plants, patent, production, plants for sale. When Google is suggesting these, it's doing this based off of past searches that have taken place. So I can reasonably infer, Catherine, that if Google is making a suggestion up here, that it probably has some value or some volume, that people are actually typing it in. So I feel pretty confident about it. Even if over in the Moz tool here, it shows that there's not any available data here under the search volume. That doesn't necessarily mean that nothing's available. It just means that they don't have any conclusive data to share with us. Okay. Keywordtool.io is just supposed to speed up that process and help you find those keywords more quickly. Okay, so it's pretty difficult, yeah. Moderately difficult. Medium, you say it's okay. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's on the high side. I typically, if I'm into the 50s at all, it's crazy. I'm not going to rank for it. High 40s can sometimes be tough too. But you know what? 48%. It's not awful either. So I went ahead and went for it. Okay. So anyway, I use Moz just to kind of check on that. If this were much higher than that, I might have adjusted my keyword phrase. I might have tried some different variations. In fact, if I come here to Google, let's see if they give me anything else. No, it looks like they don't have much outside of Albion strawberry patent. There's not an additional keyword they suggest. So that means that's probably about as good as we're going to get. Okay, so really I'm just doing this whole thing because I'm really trying to figure out what I should be writing about. I'm going to be writing about things on my blog that people actually care about, that they're searching for, and that aren't overly competitive to rank for. Okay, a lot of these principles that you're learning right now are the very same principles you would be applying if you had an e-commerce website or any type of website for that matter, because this is how SEO works when you're doing it on a website. Okay, so I say that's good enough. That's going to be my keyword phrase. Therefore, when I go back to my website, my focus keyword is going to be just that: Albion strawberry patent. Okay, that just tells Yoast what I'm trying to target, so they know what I'm trying to do here. Now I need an SEO title. This is what's called your meta title. Okay, so let's go ahead and put in a title here. I'm just going to use my target keyword phrase. And as you can see, as I'm typing here, it's also creating this blue title up here, because this SEO title or this meta title is the same title that's going to be showing up in Google. So it's just giving me a snippet of what that's going to look like. I also need a meta description, which is the information that goes on right below in this little snippet preview. So I'm going to write a short 156 characters or less type of meta description. So I'm going to say, we discuss, and I'm going to make sure I repeat Albion strawberry patent in my description. And you'll notice right now, you see how it says no right here? What Yoast SEO is basically trying to do is it's helping me optimize this post really well for my focus keyword phrase. So they're tracking where I'm using my keyword, and right here my meta description says no, it doesn't exist, but that'll change as I write this out. I'm going to say, we discussed the Albion strawberry patent, and you see right when I finish that, because this is the exact same keyword phrase, this changed and said yes. Now I have it in my meta description. Okay, so we discussed the Albion strawberry patent in detail. The inventor, let's see, I'm going to give a little bit of information here because I want to motivate a click. I'm going to say something like, it was filed for in 2004. And then I'm going to talk about the inventors. It was first filed in 2004 by Douglas Shaw and Kirk Larson at UC Davis. Click for more details, something like that. So there we go. That's my meta description. It's less than 156 characters. It's got my main target or focus keyword in it. That works just fine. So I just took care of my meta tags just like that. Okay. But that's not the only part of on-site SEO, is it? Those of you guys who know a little bit about doing on-site SEO, what else do we have to do besides a meta title and a meta description? What other elements of SEO matter here? Okay, H tags. Let's take a look at it. Do we have an H tag here? And the answer is yes. This right here is an H tag. So as long as you're using your keyword phrase up in your post title, this counts as an H tag. So I'm just going to say, to substitute for H tags for now, we're going to say the WordPress post title. Is it used within that? And you won't always just use your keyword phrase as the title. You might want something more interesting. Like we may want to call the title, everything you ever wanted to know about the Albion strawberry patent. Maybe that's a more interesting title. For this example, though, I'm just going to leave it as Albion strawberry patent. Okay. So H tags, that's good. What else? An alt title. Yep. Somebody tell me what's an alt title when you're doing SEO. And yes, Michelle, going back to Moz, if you have different email addresses, in essence, you can do more than one free month. I think you just have to register using different email addresses, and then you're able to do additional months at Moz without having to spend that couple $100 a month or whatever it is. Okay, so what's an alt title, guys? Yeah, it's for images, right? Tells what the picture is about. How do I know if I've got an alt title on my picture? Well, I can click on it, and I can click this little edit button right here, and it actually shows me alternative text. And I told you earlier, I already did just a little bit of SEO. I made sure that Albion strawberry patent, my target was there. Okay, that's your alt tag. Now, what else can we do with images, though? It's not just the alt tag, it's also the image name. So when I first saved this image off the internet, the original image file name was something like xyz342.jpg. That's not good for SEO. When you load in an image onto a blog post, you want to give it a purpose. You want to have a specific name, because Google, in the code of your site, can look at that specific image name, and if a keyword phrase is being used, that can be positive for SEO. So when I renamed this image before I uploaded it into WordPress, and I called the image Albion strawberry patent. So now that keyword phrase is also used in the image itself. Does that make sense? So that's the image file name. That's also important. Okay. What else are we missing here? Where else should our keyword phrase be used? How about just in the content itself? You'll notice I use it right here. You see I use it right here as well in this little caption. So the caption on the image, I use it here in the summary. I may use it more than that. I try not to do it too much. You don't want to overload your content with your keyword phrase used over and over and over again. Rob just asked, should you bold it? Is that helpful for SEO? Well, it used to be. It's not as big now, but I could bold it, and that may have a little positive impact on my SEO. If it does, it's very minor, but that's something I could do. Yeah. Well, what you don't want to do is you don't want to bold it every time and have it every time it's used be bold, because that's just distracting and probably will have a negative effect on your SEO. So be careful with that. But you're right, written out in the content. So I'm gonna put a check by that. Also, your URL is very important. the having your keyword phrase used in the actual web address itself. Now you can change that by coming right up here. See, if I click on this, I can actually change what they call the permalink. That's the URL. Okay, it defaults as whatever your title is, and then you could come in here and change it. Whatever you do, just make sure when you're separating your keyword phrases that you separate with dashes like this is showed right here. Albion - strawberry - patent. That's important for SEO. Okay? So that's my URL. What you'll notice is helpful about Yoast here is they're helping us with our SEO. They're saying, okay, was it used in an article heading? Yes. Is it used in the page title? Yes. Is it used in the page URL? Yes. Is it used in the content? Yes. Is it in the meta description? Yes. See that? That's how they're grading me. They're just making sure that I'm using them all in these different places. Okay. To your question, Cheryl, she asks, how often or how much can you use it in your content before it becomes too repetitive? And there's no hard and fast rules. Here's the only rule that I've ever heard Google actually say, and that's that you want to use it as much as it's needed. And I know that sounds a little vague, but it's true. When you read back through your text, if it sounds like you're trying to use it too much, and your text actually reads a little awkwardly because it's blatantly obvious that you're trying to use it too much, then you're probably using it too much. So read back through your content. Make sure it shows up a little bit. If I've got a 200-word article like this, I might have it in there a couple of times, but I'm not going to have it in there 8 times in a 200-word article. It's going to read funny. It's going to be very clear that I'm trying to do keyword stuffing, and I could get penalized in my SEO. Okay? So just use some common sense and use it, but don't overuse it. I guess that's the best answer I can give to that question. Okay, so you're going to notice here that there's other tabs, right? You've got this page analysis tab, you've got an advanced tab, and you've got a social tab. I'm not going to go over all these in detail. Let me save this first. I'm going to hit update so that all my work is saved. And do that after you do your SEO, and then you'll get more information here. You'll get a bunch of stuff that they look at and suggestions that they make to help your SEO. You don't have to have everything done here, right? Like, for example, they say there are only 186 words contained in the body copy. This is below the 300-word recommended minimum. Add more useful content. I sort of agree. I think most of your content should be more than just a couple hundred words. But that's just a suggestion they're making. They're also saying there's no H2s in the copy, or anyway, they give me some general recommendations. But as long as most of this is green, you probably did a pretty good job. And when you go back out to your post section, I've got a little green dot right here, which means in general my SEO was done pretty well. Okay. In terms of how much is too few words or too many, Alan, I think Alan's just trying to get an idea of really how long his blog post should be. There aren't any real hard and fast rules. You know, it's just use as much text as you think is going to cover whatever topic you need to cover. For this, I could have written a 2,000-word article on the patent because there's a ton of information. But instead, on mine, I just kind of did a short summary, and that was mainly due to time. I didn't have enough time to write out every little bit of the patent. And at the bottom of the blog post, you'll see that I say for more information and to read the entire patent, click here. And I put a link in the post. If you click, it actually takes you over to the official patent where somebody could come and read all the information they ever wanted to. I don't think most people will care about this as much, but I could have spent more time creating more content. And generally, more is better. It gives Google more to chew on. You want to cover your topic in as much detail as you can. I had 45 minutes today, and I kind of just did the best I could with the 45 minutes that I had. Yeah, Cheryl. Cheryl says, can you vary it according to your specific blog post? Yeah, some are going to need to be more than others. On my financial website, I have one blog post that is like 2,500 words. It's a huge detailed article about the difference between two different types of investments. And I felt like I needed to cover it in a lot of detail, because if somebody was wondering about these two types of investments, it would merit more than just a short couple hundred words as to why to do one versus the other. So in that case, yeah, I needed more content. But in this case, I felt like a short summary was fair and good enough. Just like last week, we did one. What was the topic of the last one I did? This one. Albion strawberry scientific name. That's very short. This is too short. I think I could have done more than that. But anyway, that's kind of an extreme example. If I really want to get a good ranking on this, I should probably consider putting in a little more content. Good questions, guys. But that's the main stuff. So just to make a list with you guys, so you can maybe write it down in your notes. I'm just going to make the list right here so everybody can see. You need to do your meta title. You need to do your meta description. You need to do your URL. You need to do H tags. You need to do an alt tag on your image file name, B focus keyword phrase, right? We talked about that. Your content needs focus keyword phrase. And then, those are the main ones, right? Don't overuse it in your content. If you do just this every single time, you're going to be great. Yoast will give you more detail than that, and you can get crazy with your SEO, but don't overthink it. Get the main things done and focus on really good content, and you're going to be just fine. Don't get too robotic with this SEO stuff, because in the end, it's not just this, but it's three things that affect your rankings. It's the quality of your content, it's your on-site SEO that we're talking about today, and it's your link building effort for your blog in general, which we haven't gotten to. Okay, but this is the stuff that's important. So, just in summary, guys, you should do this on your content as you go, and your keyword research should help you come up with topics to write about. So if you're looking at your blog like, I have no idea what to write about, I'm not sure what to do at this point, seriously, no big deal, right? Go do some keyword research. That will tell you and direct you as to what people care about, and write to those things. Because the exciting thing for me, and this will take us full circle, and then we'll finish up. But I said earlier that this blog post, which let me go back to my site. Let me discard what we just wrote here. This blog post right here, Albion strawberry patent. Though I don't have any ads here yet, as soon as I get accepted to Adsense and other ad networks, I will put ads here. It took me 45 minutes to write this. It might take me 15 minutes to put my ads here effectively and maybe add a little more content, who knows. But bottom line is, it may have taken me an hour on this individual blog post, right? Well, that's an hour that I'm going to look at as an investment. I haven't made anything off of this yet. But if I have this website up for the next 10, 15, 20 years, and I get ads on here, and this ranks, my whole goal here is that this blog post, when somebody types in Albion strawberry patent, that this specific post ranks at the top of Google. And all those people over the next 10, 15 years, they click on my site because I'm up at the top. And when they click on my site, they come and see this page, and there's a potential that they're going to click on my ads, click on my affiliates, and help me make money off of those. And even if I only make a few bucks a month off of this, I'm going to take it. Worst case scenario, right? Let's say this doesn't perform very well, and I only make, say, $5 a month off of this specific blog post. That wouldn't be bad, considering the fact that I only spent an hour on it. What's that? 5 times 12 months, that's $60 a year. multiply that by 10 years, that's $600. Okay, for my hours worth of time, I may make $600 for this individual page over the course of 10 years, right? It's not bad. It's not bad for, an hour's worth of work. I may hit a home run and I may make $50 a week off of this, or I may make 50 cents a month off of this. Who knows? But you learn over time what content is paying out the best, and through your experience and through your AdSense numbers, which we'll discuss later, this could end up really paying us some good money. Okay, that's the genius behind this. You're creating landing page after landing page after landing page, which is the same as blog post after blog post after blog post, in hopes that these start to produce for you on a regular basis. Okay. It's not an exciting topic, but if it's paying me pretty good money, hey, I'll write about it and I'll research it. It's well worth my time. Okay, does the link help? Alan asked, does the link help with my SEO? Not necessarily, no. Outbound links don't help with SEO. Google will look at where I'm linking to. So if I'm linking to some crappy websites out there, that may not be helpful. So I make sure I link to good, credible websites when I do. Rob asked, is WordPress responsive to phones and tablets? Yes and no. WordPress itself is responsive if you choose the right WordPress theme. The specific theme that I chose is responsive. So if I look this up on a tablet or a phone, it looks really good. And that's something that affects Google rankings too. So under appearance and themes, just to remind you guys, I'm using what's called 2015, and it's called the blank 2015 theme. It's one I downloaded online, but it is responsive. Annette asks, is a blog page to be set up while I'm setting up my store's website or after my website is done? Generally, Annette, most people in our program will start selling on eBay, move to their e-commerce dropship site, and then eventually move to this after. So I would be doing this after or during. That's usually about the time frame. Catherine, I don't know. When you're looking for themes, Catherine just asked if you can filter looking for responsive themes. I can't remember. If I come up here under themes and hit add new, there's a feature filter right here. And I think this is the one you want, responsive layout. That's a responsive theme. So yeah, you can filter that way. I find that most of the newer ones, as in like the last year or so, are nearly all responsive. And the reason why that is, I think it was last year that Google came out with news, or maybe it was earlier this year, I can't remember. But in one of the big Google updates, they came out with news saying that they would penalize websites that weren't responsive. Luckily, all of your guys' Volusion websites that you've done with us and these WordPress sites that we're doing are going to be responsive, so that won't hurt us in our rankings. But make sure you get a good responsive template. If you go out there and download a template from like 2011, it may not have been designed as a responsive template, and that could hurt us. So be smart when you're deciding which template to use. Sally says, I have several plugins that I didn't install. Should I delete them? Yeah, you can. If you've got some plugins there that you don't recognize, you absolutely can delete them. There'll be an option here. You can just click the box and then select delete and apply. So you can get rid of those if you want to. Oh, good. I'm glad. Catherine chose a template that is responsive, that looks nice. Yep. Good. Okay. Well, hopefully that was instructive, guys. Does that kind of make sense as to how to do your SEO? The cool thing is if you're doing your on-site SEO as you go, you're going to start finding that you're going to get found. You're going to get pulled up. You're going to start getting a little bit of traffic that'll start trickling in, only by simply creating the site, designing it, writing some content, and doing just a little bit of SEO as you go. A lot of people don't know this stuff. I know there's a lot of blogs out there, and all my clients, tell me they're nervous about all the competition and how is their website supposed to possibly rank when there's so many others that are already ranking. Well, not everybody does this stuff. In fact, I would venture to guess that a very small minority even knows to do this stuff. And so this is where you're going to get your edge. If this webinar was real confusing and you're new to our Thursday night ones, don't let it overwhelm you. This is some of our more advanced stuff that we're doing right now. Most of our clients that are doing this type of stuff have been in the program for a couple of months or more. So don't let this overwhelm you. This is stuff that we'll be teaching you as we go. Okay. All right. Well, with that said, we're gonna finish up. We held true. We only went about 40 minutes or so. So thank you for being here, everybody. We will do more of this next week. We'll be talking about other things we need to do to get our site ready for advertising. All the while, if you are doing this right now, you should be cranking out content as much as you can. Quantity isn't always better if the quality drops. So make sure your content remains good quality, grammatically correct, well written, images used, videos used if necessary, good usable stuff that is going to qualify for good Google rankings. Okay? All right, guys. Well, with that said, we will see you next time. Wanda, to your question, yeah, I mean, you should be doing Twitter, Facebook, and a blog. All of this is going to be really helpful for marketing. So if you guys have any further questions, email your coach. If I'm your coach, reach out to me. And hopefully, we'll see you guys all next week, same time, same place. Thanks again.